Hey everyone, what I want to share with you today is a very powerful concept called the business growth formula. When you understand this formula, you'll actually understand how to dramatically grow your business. This is the formula that explosive, fast-growing, exciting companies understand and use every day to take their business to the next level. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through what the formula is, and then I'm going to break down each one of the component parts. But the idea behind this formula is not to be able to calculate each one of the individual component parts. It's really about understanding what you need to change in your business to become that amazing, dominant player in the marketplace. So the business growth formula is basically this. Where your sales are today is a result of your share of voice times your impact quotient times your personal experience factor times your market potential. That is where your sales are today. If you take each one of those things, multiply them out, it equals where you are today. So, share of voice. Share of voice is basically how much are you heard in the marketplace. It's about how much voice you have, how much advertising, how much people are seeing you, hearing you, talking about you. But it's not in a vacuum. It's how much you versus your competitors and also versus the marketplace. So if you have a very dominant competitor, you're going to have a very small share of voice. And again, the idea with this is not that you need to go out and calculate your share of voice. What you have to ask yourself is, here's what it is today based upon the things I'm doing. How do I grow it dramatically if I want to dramatically grow my business? How much do I need to increase my advertising, my networking? What are the things that I need to do to get people talking about my business in the marketplace? The next thing is impact quotient. So it's share of voice times impact quotient. And what impact quotient is really how impactful is your message. If you have a boring, dull, hard to remember message, you have a very low impact quotient. As a matter of fact, your impact quotient would be less than 1. It will somewhat act like a tax on your share of voice. So if your message is quite boring, dull, ordinary, same as everybody else, and sometimes this is hard to be honest with yourself around, you have a low impact quotient. The question you have to ask yourself is, how do I increase my impact quotient? How do I make my message more exciting, more interesting? And even if your message is good today, if you want to grow your business, you've got to make your message even more impactful. So it's share of voice times impact quotient times our next factor, which is the personal experience factor. And what the personal experience factor is basically what is the experience that somebody has whenever they interact with your business. Now, the mistake a lot of people make is they just think about their customers. What is the customer experience? But it's far greater than that. It's the experience anytime somebody interacts with your business. When they phone you, when they visit your website, the emails that they get from you if they get onto an email campaign or a newsletter. What you want to look at is what is the experience from a customer standpoint. And again, your experience might be fantastic today. If you want to grow your business, you have to increase your personal experience factor. Now, a lot of businesses focus heavily on the personal experience factor and go, I've got a great one, so how come my business is not growing more? Well, the problem is that if you have a small share of voice and a low impact quotient, nobody's hearing about how great the experience is with your business. Now, if it's a lousy experience and you have a big share of voice and a big impact quotient, everybody is hearing about how poor it is. So it is important and it's an accelerant, but it is a subset of share of voice and impact quotient. Now, the next thing is your market potential. And your market potential is basically how big is the market that you're in? For the service you're selling and the community that you're selling it to, how big is that pond? And that is your market potential. Now, if you are selling a service that the demand is growing, or you're working in a community where the population is growing, or you have a demographic where that demographic is growing, fantastic, you have an advantage because already you have your market potential increasing. But for a lot of businesses, that market potential might be decreasing. In which case, if you want to grow your business, your share of voice, impact quotient, personal experience factor are all the more important. So what you need to do with this is take this back and think about this. It's not about where you are today. It's about where you want to go. If you want to dramatically grow your business, you have to ask yourself, how am I going to grow my share of voice? How am I going to increase the impact factor, prove my message? How am I going to make my service and interaction experience with my customers and prospects even better? Figure those things out, they multiply on each other, and that is how you dramatically grow a business.